Unless one of these things happens or the world explodes, there's no way I'm going to sell any of my shares in Nano Dimension. What's up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for joining in. Today I wanted to go over some of the reasons in which I would consider selling a portion or if not all of my shares in Nano Dimension. Now, I don't expect any of these things happening in Nano Dimension as of now, so anything can change in the future, and these are things that I would be looking out for to consider liquidating any of my shares. At this point, I've only thought of 8 reasons that I would consider selling. I guess this is 8 reasons too many, but these are things that I would definitely consider. These are just things that I would look for if you are looking for a reason to sell Nano Dimension, and possibly any other company for that matter. Now, before I get into the video, I wanted to remind you guys to hit that big red subscribe button. It shows your support, and a lot of work goes into making these videos, so all I ask in return is that you hit that subscribe button. So the first red flag that I would be looking for is shady insider trading. What we don't want to see is that the moment that any executives or any board members on Nano Dimension gets the right to sell their shares in the company, and then they do so, there's a really good chance that they're not really confident in the company and they have some kind of motive for selling their shares that we might not know about. There could be a chance that they see something that we don't see. We do not want to see them selling any ownership in the company because that just shows their lack of confidence in the company or product that they're offering. So an example of this is in August of this year, Yoav Stern had the right to purchase up to 6.8 million shares of American depository shares in Nano Dimension, and he only had to put up around $150,000 to secure his position. The warrant will vest over a period of 2.5 years and will have a term of 7 years. So something we would not want to see is that the day after he's able to sell these shares, that he goes ahead and liquidates all of them. We don't want to see that. But sometimes it's healthy to see a little bit of selling and then a little bit of buying. People do want to secure profits. I totally get it. So the second reason that I would sell my shares in Nano Dimension is if there was some kind of mismanagement of funds or just overall poor use of this money. So we've seen recently that Nano Dimension is raising a ton of money. What we do want to see them do with this money is to continue their operations and try to cut costs as much as possible while being able to reinvest more money into research and development. In the end, we want them to develop better products so they have a better chance of hitting the market strong and, growing their sales over time. We also want to make sure that what they've said in the previous earnings calls and reports, that those things do hold true in how they're managing the money. So Yoav Stern mentioned he wants to spend money on operations and research and development, so that's what we're going to be looking for. And how exactly can we see that? Well, we could study their financial statements. The third reason would be no periodic breakthroughs in their technology. Over the last few years, it seems like they've been releasing a new machine every couple years. First, we had the Dragonfly 2020 in 2016. Then we had the Dragonfly Pro, which was in the end of 2018. And then we have now the Dragonfly Pro LDM, or the Lights Out Digital Manufacturing, and we just got that at the end of last year, I believe. So what we want to see here is we want to see faster machines, more capable of, bigger boards or, more layers. We want to see improved materials. We want to see them making their way more towards commercial and industrial grade materials and even military spec at some point in time. After all, these are goals that they've been working to achieve, so we do want to see some progress in them getting closer to these goals. What I do like about Nano Dimension is they do have a pretty clear roadmap about how they want to scale their production and things, so we'll be able to track their performance and compare it to that. The fourth thing that I really doubt will happen, but something that I would still consider, is the lack of adoption in their technology. So if we do see that, revenues are decreasing even after, the CV19 lift happens, hopefully in the near future, if we see that they can't increase revenues, that there's less and less companies that seem interested in their technology, then maybe it means their machines aren't as good as they claim them to be. But again, I highly doubt this is the case here. I'm just saying it for the sake of this video. If we did see a decrease in sales and no one wants to use their machines, then that is also a red flag that, maybe this isn't going to catch on how we think it's going to catch on, and it's time to get out. In partial or in full, it depends on, the circumstance. The fifth reason that I would sell my shares in Nano Dimension is if they really had no clear route into profitability, even if they did grow their sales. After all, this is a business, guys, so at some point we do want to see Nano Dimension producing pretty substantial revenues. We aren't quite there yet to focus on Nano Dimension generating profits for its investors, but at some point we do want to see them cranking out some money. The sixth reason that I would consider selling a substantial amount of my shares in Nano Dimension would be if one of the founders of the company leaves. So this would either be Sigmund Fried or Amit Dror. These are the two co-founders of the company. And generally, we want to see the people who did create the company to stay as long as possible, because then it shows their commitment to the company and the product that they were envisioning to make. Now, there has been a case in the past when a CEO has left the company in Nano Dimension, and these were around some fraud allegations. Nano Dimension wanted none of that, so that's why it's a little hard to find information about him, and that's why they swept as much as they could under the rug. They want nothing to do with him. But besides that, what I don't want to see happening is the current leadership leaving the company. So people like Yoav Stern, the recently hired lead of science, Dr. Joseph Kaplan, really important figures that can influence where the company goes. We do not want to see them leaving. The seventh reason that I would sell my shares in Nano Dimension is if there was some kind of competition that revealed to have a better product and or a faster road to market. Under some crazy circumstance that Nano Dimension did have some competitors out there that we had no clue about, if it turned out that these guys had a better, faster, more durable material 3D electronics printer, and they also had a faster road to market, meaning they could commercialize their product a lot faster than Nano Dimension can, then I think that would be kind of a bad sign for Nano Dimension. Now, I don't think that this would make me sell all of my shares, but I do think this would deter me from, putting more eggs in the Nano Dimension basket. The chances are that I would sell at least maybe a portion of it and just wait to see what the competition does. Now, I don't know of this existing as of now. They have also said that there's no competition that they can see in the foreseeable future, at least for the next 3 or 4 years. So in a sense, they kind of have like a Tesla advantage, so to speak, if we're going to talk about competition and being ahead of them. There really isn't any other company that you can compare to what Nano Dimension is trying to accomplish. So today, this is a good thing, but if we saw something like this in the future, then I would definitely consider selling some shares in Nano Dimension. The eighth and final reason in this video that I would sell my shares in Nano Dimension is if I just absolutely needed the money. If life were to really happen and you had no other choice than to liquidate, your shares in a company you really like, then that's the only other situation that I could see myself selling it in. If the first 7 reasons were not to materialize, this is the only way I would sell my shares here. So unless there is truly a better use of those dollars than keeping them in Nano Dimension and letting them do what they're doing, then I absolutely have no reason to really touch it. I do agree that you should practice risk management, and if you don't want to hold a majority of one company in your portfolio, then it would make sense to sell pieces at a time, as there is tax implications with selling your stock. So unless you're prepared to, pay taxes on your stock when you do sell it, then I would absolutely not sell it. If you really want advice about that, I would consider talking to a CPA. But that's pretty much it, guys. Those are the top reasons that I can think of right off the top of my head of why I would sell any shares in this company. I'm not interested in selling any of the shares in the company as of today, even at $6.50 a share. This is really a cheap stock still. I see at least 2 years passing before we see anything really big happening in the company. So I am going to be following them meticulously and for as long as I possibly can. And I will be posting videos like this one on this channel. But that goes to say that if you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button. And without even thinking about it, you should really hit that subscribe button. I try to pack as much information as I can in my videos so you guys can learn something, so definitely consider subscribing. But that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.